What is the deal, Raider Nation? What is the deal? You're back for another live Thursday episode of the Turf and Rundown Show. Make sure you guys are tapping on the like, on the subscribe button, man. Turf, we back for another Thursday, man. How you feeling?
Raider Nation in the building, feeling lovely as always. We got another game coming up here on Sunday. I'm excited to be back in the house.
Back to work, man. After the bye
Back to
week.
work.
Hey, man, and you know it was cool, but it's always weird. I think I was talking to CT yesterday. It's always weird when the Raiders don't play, right? I mean, when the Raiders don't play and you got a bye week, it's like, it's cool to kind of get a rest from it, but then at the same time, it's like, you don't do your normal routine. You don't wake up like you're supposed to. You don't, like it just feels weird. So getting back to regular form, man, it feels really good to come back this week and see that. But what about you, man? How do you feel like when the Raiders have a bye week? How does it feel? Uh-oh. Hold on. But so not connected, but when we get Turf back, right? When we get Turf back, we are gonna ask him how it feels. But real quick, man, how does it feel? Everybody in the chat, what's up, Beezy? How you feeling? What's up? What's the deal, man? Salute podcast. What's going on, my man? Protect the Shield podcast. Chris, what's the deal, man? You know they always support for the TRS. You know what time it is, man. So salute everybody up in here. But like I said, man, bye week. So how does it feel when the Raiders have a bye week? For me, it's weird. I don't do the things I normally do. But how does it feel for you when the Raiders are off?
It's the same thing. I mean, I'm around the house, especially for 2 full extended weeks throughout the season when I'm used to at least heading to one city. You know what I mean? At the minimum every other week, but never get that 2 full weeks. So, it takes away, and then you just don't know how the players are, right? Especially coming off of 2 tough losses, right? It's a lot at stake, if you will, especially this game. It literally is do or die. There's absolutely no hope whatsoever after this game. So it's tough, man. It's going to be a tough outing, if you will. I don't think the Vikings are some slouches, so we'll see.
No. I mean, it's not. It's not. They're not terrible slouches either. But at the end of the day, this is a game where I'm looking at it's like this ain't an easy game, but it's a game that I think the Raiders can win for sure.
Absolutely. Not only should win.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get into that a little bit later. The implications of what type of game this is. Now usually we have our segments, called Turf Talk. Usually we start off like that because you're in the building, but like I said, it was bye week, so nobody was anywhere. You know what I mean? We were incognito. So for this day's Turf Talk, man, let's kind of preview, right? What are you looking to see when you go into the state? Because we're home, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are you looking for when you walk into the stadium, right? From, let's say, the extracurricular. We're going to talk about what we want from the team, but what do you want to see from the atmosphere, from the fan base when you go in there?
Absolutely. And you know what? This is a good segment right into ticket purchasing for the people that want to always figure out when's the best time. It's been very weird, to be honest, this season when it comes to purchasing tickets. I've literally only purchased one set of tickets, and that was the home opener early before the actual game. And this is the first time I'm actually nervous at this particular point because there are quite a bit less of club seats, during this particular point in time for singles. But for doubles, it's a ton. So I'm taking a big risk. You know what I mean? As y'all see in the, on television, usually these games are pretty full. I don't know how they do it, get them full that quick, right during kickoff. But
who knows?
Taking the risk. Exactly. I'm taking the risk this time. But I'm gonna let y'all know how it goes. Every game so far, other than that, though, I've bought game day and have had very, very good success. And it's easier to get 2 tickets as opposed to 1. So just want to put that out there for the fans when it comes to looking at how you want to buy tickets. I expect us to be deep. I expect us to fill up the place and not pass on the tickets or sell them to other fans and so forth. And I expect us to be loud and proud like we had been, previous to these two losses away. Well, one of them away, obviously.
And that's always the concern
Yep.
when it comes to that is a lot of fan bases are going to come in here and have numbers. And as of right now, I don't think the team is good enough to have overwhelming type of fan base numbers, right? And when I say that, it's like, the product on the field got to match the intensity that we have. That's just what it is. So until the product on the field matches what we want to see, it's going to be like that because Vegas is a new city, and sad reality is, like, I was just thinking about Oakland the other day, but sad reality is like, we ain't never gonna get that back. You know what I mean? We're not,
that's done and over with. But
as much as we love it, and this is my whole point. I say this like to some people because a lot of people like to bring that Oakland shit up all the time, but I'm like, bro, like the sooner you embrace the situation, the sooner you're not gonna sound like a back in the day. It was like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
And this is coming from a guy. This is coming from somebody who was from 6 years old to the age of 2021, I was, or whatever the case, I was going to Oakland. You know what I mean? From 6 to 20, I was there every year for a home game. So it's like, I have the ties. But at the end of the day, you have to, Vegas is here to stay, bro. Like, we're not going anywhere. There's too much money being generated at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
it will become the most expensive franchise of all time. It just will. It will surpass Jerry World, and it will surpass anything else built after it. I don't see how it won't. It's just in the perfect location. It's the perfect place for sports. I don't see how it can fail.
See that, and that leads me. That leads me to something that I heard earlier in the week, and that was, I think, Roger Goodell or somebody was talking to Mark Davis about Vegas, and they said it's a sports town. So I'm like, when you think about it, the gambling mecca and all that shit really is in Vegas for real. When you talk about all that, and then look at what the NFL is promoting when it promotes all the gambling and shit. But also, in that nature, I'm like, I keep telling people, the Raiders, once they begin to win, they're already making money right now, and they're mid. Like, we're not even as good as we can be, and money is still being generated. Like, can you imagine when this is a perennial playoff team, where it's like, before the season, it's like, they're going to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to compete for a chip. Imagine the money and all the buzz that this city will generate then. So, I'm like, as soon as you embrace what we got going on, I think the sooner that we all can look and be like, all right, we can try to turn Vegas into something.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And that's really what it's going to boil down to. That's why I kind of wanted to get in early and on the floor early and often. I'm trying to create, I have no shame. I'm trying to create my connections, Raider Nation, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to create and build my network so that I can get in the building, because I do see a point where I absolutely won't be able to afford club seats every game. And that's because once we get good, those seats will average out of $1,500 or so a seat, period. That's just what it's going to be. The city generates and brings so much money from the tourists, and people will save up their whole year for that one seat.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. So, get in while you can, because Mark Davis and Davis estates are about to make a killing, and there's no way to stop it. And even that's even if we're not good. So I mean, that's even if we're not good. It went from what? The franchise went from what? A couple $100 million to $6 billion overnight, basically.
Yeah. But the thing I do want to highlight is, like, with a team like this, it's so easy for an owner to really just like go through the motions and be like, all right, man, I got a cash cow. You know what I mean? Like, especially a guy like Mark Davis who has multiple entities of income coming in. So it's like, all right, well, this team gonna make money every year. don't really care how much we win. You know what I mean? Like certain owners are like that. And so you got to commend Mark to be like, all
Jerry
right, man,
Jones.
like, he cares. Yeah,
Jerry Jones.
like he cares. You know what I mean? Like there are some owners, man, that don't care about the dollar and the price tag. So
Right.
Look, and coming to this comment right here. What's up, Rafa? What's the deal? Coming to the comment, Mr. Took Your Soul. First time seeing you, so hey, salute to you, brothers. First time seeing you.
Yes, sir. Salute.
But went from 750 million when he took over to 6.2 billion. And I say this all the time, and I think Hondo Carpenter says this too. I do believe that Mark is a better businessman than
Al. 100%.
100%. Now he may not have the football acumen that Al did.
There's no may not. He has no football acumen.
Yeah,
That's been part of the problem.
Exactly. And that's some of my shit too, where I think I said it on the last live we were on. I'm like, he can't use that excuse no more, bro. So,
exactly.
You know what I mean? 2023.
Exactly.
Get yourself together. If you really want to win, then that's what it takes as well. But this is where we are. So going into the next segment, right? We're gonna pivot coming into the next section, and we're gonna talk about this here, which is improvements after the bye. Okay.
Right.
Now I made a little video on this, but I want to get your I want to get your take on it, and then I got a couple more things to say. But we're coming after the bye week.
Right.
Now we're looking at Antonio Pierce. We're looking at Bo Hardegree. We're looking at all these guys. Now you got a week of rest. A week of preparation.
Right.
How you feeling now coming off of the bye week turf? What do you want to see? Coming into this.
Well, the one thing I want to see, which is going to be awfully hard to repeat, and I don't foresee them actually being able to do it, and that's just by the nature of the game, but is no penalties. We hadn't done no penalties 19 years. I don't even see, you can't improve on it. So I'd like to see us sustain that. Is that expectation high? Absolutely. But it is what it is. I mean, that game could have been a lot worse, right? The game could have been a lot worse if we didn't keep our composure from that perspective. So first and foremost, yes, stay consistent with the next to nothing penalties.
Yeah.
I want to see another 100-yard running game from JJ.
Yeah.
And I want to see a couple of TDs from our quarterback. I don't really care where they come from as far as these touchdowns through the air. They can go to Devontae, they can go to Jacoby, they can go to Mayer. I don't care where they go, but I want to see those things offensively. Defensively, defensively, I want to see us get back to flying around the ball a little bit more. Attacking a little bit more. I kind of feel like, Max being hurt and everybody actually kind of seeing and knowing he was really not 100% affected us a little bit mentally. So I want to see us get back to that intensity regardless of where Max is. And attack on defense. I want to see 8 sacks like we had, against the Giants, I believe.
Agreed. I echo all the sentiments you just said, man. Like for me, you have, this is where AP can allow himself to do himself some favors, which is like, all right, man, like I got a bye week. Go back, reflect. What have I been doing wrong? Right? I want to see better situational awareness. I want to see, you know what I mean? Like when we talk about that, go for it on fourth down. You know what I mean? Be aggressive before the end of that. You know what I mean? These are things that we want to see, and you might as well do it anyway. Because if you don't do it and you lose, then you're gonna get fired. I mean, regardless, like you're not gonna retain the job. So I think that he's gotta. I want to see better situational awareness from Antonio Pierce. Definitely see if he improves on that. Like you just said, ain't no comment. Gotta see him win us a game. And when I say that, certain people are like, what do you mean win us a game? I'm like, okay, up to this point, the 2 wins that we've had with him, he did not win that game.
No, he maintained. No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, Jay, Josh Jacobs ran wild. We that was a great game by Josh Jacobs. I mean, even the Giants game for real ran good. You know what I mean? Now Miami did not. He lost us that game. That's an example of losing a game. And the Chiefs, it was a good performance. But when you don't answer back after 21 scores on you, you know what I mean? Once they put 21 unanswered on you, you don't come back. It's like, all right, bro, come on.
Yes,
you know what I mean? You gotta go blow for blow. You gotta go blow for blow. So like that's one that's like, all right, boom. So he's yet to win us a game. If we're gonna talk about franchise quarterback and all that, it starts there. It starts there.
I agree. You got to have a couple of those a year. You got to guaranteed win on your arm and your own.
There you go.
For your squad as that quarterback that's going to win a chip. There's the days of being Trent Dilfer and maintaining your way to a Super Bowl like he did with the Ravens is not going to happen again.
Like let me know, Turk. We played, right? When you play with a quarterback, right, and I play with me, I never really had the luxury of having like a guy. You know what I mean? Like I never had the luxury. I'm like, oh yeah. Like I know he can sling. But when you do have a certain type of quarterback, you walk away from a game sometimes like, yeah, that motherfucker. He just won this game, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
100%. 100%.
We had to get it in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? And in 2 minutes, that's when it's crucial. Or we got to go win this game right now in a minute. Like, so let's go ahead and make some throws and let's do what we got to do. Or throughout the entirety of the game, you make it throw after throw after throw because it's needed. Not because, you know what I mean? Not because they playing soft and all. No, because without these throws, we're not winning this game. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I think he has to do that.
Hey, as I always do, I got to give my shout out to T Banks. That's Tony Banks for the people that may not know who that is. He played at Michigan State. He was a third-round draft pick. Played in the league he was a third-round draft pick by the Rams. Played in the league for over a decade, and actually won a Super Bowl right behind that quarterback I just talked about maintaining for the Ravens. So it's kind of a small world.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell y'all right now, coming from Connecticut back in the early 90s when football was really not relevant in Connecticut, and going to San Diego, which was kind of like a mecca, right? For particularly the high school guys coming out of Morse, Lincoln, right? We're talking your Marcus Allens, right? These heavy hitters from San Diego, right? So, walking into that and then seeing Tony Banks quarterback, I knew it was very different immediately, effectively. I mean, it was impossible not to see it, let alone everything. And yes, he won us games. We literally threw the ball sometimes 58 out of 60 plays some games. And that was because we had to, real talk. I was a freshman coming from Connecticut. I really wasn't 100% prepared. But, I did well enough. And the last thing I'll say about it, to cut a story short, in junior college, as you know, there's always a book for everybody. Everybody's got their little, hey, he's quick, agility, shifty. God moves, can catch the ball, all of those, right? You get all those little tiny paragraphs. With Tony Banks, you saw 5 words. You'll see him on Sundays. That's it. That's it. That was 94. And he played for a decade. So I like to think I do have an idea of what it is when it comes to seeing a quarterback, because the other side of the fence is I played against Steve Sarkisian. Yeah, that guy that's the head coach. The guy that's the head coach for UT. So, yeah, trust me, your boy's seen some quarterback play.
Yeah, I mean, coming out my graduating year, because I graduated in 16, high school, like, in my area, it wasn't a lot of like upper echelon quarterbacks. Like in my area, it was all about like the running backs, like myself. And, we had receivers that was good and all that. But it's like when I used to go to these camps, it's like that's when I'm like, oh shit, like that's what real quarterback should look like. Because in my area, we ain't have all that. You know what I mean? My quarterback's the same height as me. You know what I mean? Like Like,
yeah,
I'm like, bro,
T-Banks
you
is 6'7", so
yeah,
I know
bro,
what you're talking
like
about.
5'11", bro. Like when I finally go to some camps, I'm like, God damn, like this is what it looks like when you got an actual quarterback and defenses ain't 8 in the box every game because they know I'm about to get the ball or something. Like, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Like that's just what it is, bro. Like when you have,
Yeah,
especially as a running back, bro, when you have that quarterback that defenses now have to be like, all right, bro, he can win you a game. You gotta
right.
respect. You know what I mean? When you have that, it'll make the job easy. Like, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean? That's what we look at. That's why when I look at Josh, sometimes I'm like, bro, there's 8 people in the box, bro. Like, it's like
Yep,
sometimes it's like, what the hell you expect me to do, bro? They know
exactly.
it's coming.
Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. Nothing at all.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
and
I was lucky, bro, because I actually had 2 badass quarterbacks. T-Banks was my first one. My second one was Buckner, a kid that
bro,
got a full ride to UCLA, Oregon, a couple of other spots. He went to Oregon, it just didn't work out, and he came back to transfer. And back then, you couldn't just go to another school and play. If you
yeah.
transfer, you had to go down, something. So he came to JUCO first. But I was I'm telling y'all right now, I know for a fact I've been fortunate for when it comes to
And
quarterbacks.
see, look, bro, as you
Very
as you
fortunate.
grow in certain areas or in certain levels of college, like
Yes.
you understand how important having a quarterback is. And of course, now we bring it back to the Raiders. The NFL, it's the
Yeah.
most important. It separates you. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just what it
No,
is.
I
Like it
agree.
separates the tier of teams. And if
Yes.
you really look, if you be like, oh, that's a good team. That's a good team. That's a mid team. That's a bad team. When you look, what's the common denominator on most of them? Either your quarterback is good, mid, or it's trash. It's like that's it. You know what
I
I
agree.
mean? Like
No, I agree.
there's very little if you have a very good team and your quarterback is trash, you're gonna win games. It's just not gonna happen like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
Hey,
what I mean?
shout out to TRF, right? I'm gonna give y'all props and y'all credit because I'd say, right, you guys were probably more along the lines of everybody wants a quarterback than not. Y'all won me over. I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
brought myself to the front of the congregation, right? And I get it. I understand. It absolutely is something we need. I mean, could we use linemen? Yeah, absolutely. But
Oh,
bottom
definitely.
line is, if we can get a quarterback that has, excuse me, any kind of mobility,
Right.
sky's the limit with the weapons we have and the line we have.
See, because
So I'm on
and
board.
then
I'm on board. I'm on board. I'm actually T Crump is finally saying he's on board for getting the quarterback with that first pick. I'm on
ladies
board.
and gentlemen,
I'm on board.
we got Turf on board getting a first round quarterback, bro. Like this is where we're
Yeah.
at now. Look, and then that brings it to this, right? That brings it to the comment I saw earlier from Chris. Are we gonna win out though? And this is the thing.
Yeah.
The best situation, as much as I say I want to draft the first round quarterback, I'll be the first to tell you the best thing the Raiders can do is win out. That's the best
Right.
thing. Because why? That means Antonio Pierce did his job. That means Aiden O'Connell did his job. You know what I mean? Like we sitting here now, it's like okay, we won 5 to 4 games, playoff contention maybe. So now you sit there and you're like, all right, bro, that means these 2 guys that are in the most important spots, head coach, quarterback, ended up getting their shit together as the season progressed. You know what
Right.
I mean? And that's something that I think if we are able to do that, then what everybody wants to do from the jump is build the D line, build the O line, maybe get a corner, get something in that first round that's not having to do with a quarterback because you have it already. That's exactly. I mean that'll be the blessing for us for it.
I agree. I mean, I'm not ready to write off O'Connell. I mean, we understand the kid can't move. We get it. But the bottom line is he may be able to overcome, and compensate and do what's necessary for not being mobile once he learns how to do so based on his ability. But you gotta give him the fair chance to do exactly that. So I'm okay with these bumps in the road, right? We're gonna lose some games because he didn't play well or didn't win it, and we needed it. But that's part of the growing pains.
It's all development. You know what I mean? It's all development. And I think even last week, it's a loss, yeah, but it's development. We saw growth from him individually. We saw growth, right? But I asked this question to CT, and I said this, okay, now last week, I know everybody loves to go off the emotion. I mean, I'm victim of it too. After I watched the 60 minutes of football, immediately I'm fan first. So it's like, all right, bro, I'm either mad or whatever, but then I quickly turned analytical. So if you tell me last week was his best game, which it was, right? But last week was his ceiling. Is that good enough to be a franchise quarterback?
No, it's not good enough.
Exactly.
It's not good enough.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
And you know, but like Chris said here, you know, it's an unpopular take that you know, we still might want a quarterback. I don't agree with that. Exactly.
It's not unpopular to me.
It's time for us to start creating the competition that's necessary in the locker room in order to really light the fire necessary to win. I don't want any more cars where he's comfortable because they know he did just enough to do nothing for us for 9 years. I'm sorry, that's just fact.
Thank you. That's it. That's what it is, bro. You know,
enough to he used all of the Christianity and the loving brother and the I'm the good guy and everybody loves me to get 9 years out of us. I mean, I'm sorry. That's my take on it a little bit. It's that corporate game. He ran that corporate game on us for 9 years. I don't want that anymore. I want somebody under somebody's behind every play. I want people like Mozart. Did y'all notice that Mozart was not coming out that game when it came to Miami? Do y'all know why Mozart wasn't coming out that game? Because he ain't want A-Chain coming in that game. That's the type of competition I want to build. I want to build a dude is out there limping. Because he knows good and well, if I let this boy come on the field, my position is over.
And I'll tell you like this too. Even this. If I'm not mistaken, did not Philadelphia still have Carson Wentz and still drafted Jalen Hurts in that second round?
100%.
You rest the case. You know what I mean? You rest the goddamn case. And Carson Wentz was in MVP conversations. He was in MVP conversations, bro. And you never pass on the opportunity to upgrade, ever. So I'll tell you what, because I've been seeing this. I don't know how it's going to happen, but if it happens, let's just say this. Let's say this scenario unfolds. What if we get Michael Penix in the second round? Are you mad at that? No, I'm not.
You're not getting Penix in the second round, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I've seen that unfold. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, what if it unfolds? It's like, all right, bro, you get him in the second round. All right, that's cool. You know what I mean? You got to beat him out, bro. If he beats out a second rounder, by all means, you know what I mean? By all means, it's cool, bro. Let him do his thing. But as we transition, man, before we transition to the next topic, make sure you guys are hitting the subscribe button, man.
Please like and subscribe for both.
Coming every Thursday. Next Thursday, we trying to figure out what we're going to do, you know, because it's going to be Thursday night football against the Chargers. Turf going to be in the building. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to make it work. But we still trying to bring that content to you. You know, we can't slack. You know, we going to work.
100%. Yeah, we're going to have something special for that one.
Yes, sir. So as we pivot off, man, we go into, the injury report, for the Raiders versus the Vikings. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Boom, as we go ahead and get down. Boom. As we hear. As you can see for the Vikings, today, Thursday, they pretty much got everybody back for them. But as we look for us, it's not what you want to see going into the later parts of the season, right? When you look at Max Crosby, he didn't part for 2 straight days. I mean, you kind of expect that. When you go now, the thing that I'm happy to see is Brandon Facyson is back, you know, in limited fashion. Yeah. So I'm happy to see that.
That's huge. Because that's what we need. That's what we need in order to compete. Defense.
Need that. Colton Miller with that shoulder. Now I don't know. He's coming off a bye week, so it's like, all right, I think, you know, the shoulder's probably worse than what everybody knows. You know what I mean? That's what I think it is. I think we have some of them situations because, I mean, for example, we just found out Josh Jacobs partially tore his calf last year. You know what I mean? We didn't know that. I had no idea about that.
Right. So nobody. I didn't know that. That's new news to me right now. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he revealed that on Max Crosby's podcast, right? Last year against the Seahawks. Remember, he was doubtful for that game. Remember before that game? And we were like, okay, he's not gonna play. But he revealed before that game the reason he was doubtful is because he partially tore his calf. So, and he still had that amount of yardage, bro. It's just wild, crazy. Yeah, he's a top five running back in the league for sure, bro. And I said this on Twitter before I continue. I'm man enough to admit, you know, so part of me was like, all right, bro, don't give him all that bread. You know what I mean? And part of me was saying things in the offseason. Fully take it all back about Josh Jacobs, bro. That's a dude, bro. That's a dude. Everything I said, I hope I strike it from the record, bro. Fuck all that.
He is the epitome of an every down back. He is literally the soul of a team. I was somewhat the same type of running back, man. I really honestly was. I got, you know, people that would definitely vouch for me, like, and that's after, right? That was that second year, which was the pivotal one for me, right? The one that pretty much got me my scholarship offers.
Right.
But I was the soul of that team, man. However I went, we went. You know what I mean? And they used to feed me the ball in the second half, which is where I really did a lot of damage. And it reminds me of Josh Jacobs. He needs 10 to 15 carries in the first half to hurt him, but he needs 10 in the second half to knock him out, and that's the difference. He may not have 50 yards in the first half, but that 21st, that 22nd, that 23rd carry, something's coming. It's just. It's like your boy said when it came to my man. I love it every time Lynch just run you over.
That's what it is.
Jacobs' game. That's Jacobs' game, and I'm excited to see that from start to finish. That holdout is what hurt him this year. He would be the leading rusher right now, regardless of the 8 men in the box. And that's what really makes me upset because he is that kind of a running back. He is that. He would have broken Marcus Allen's record. He still probably has a chance to. He's a talent. He's a talent. You're absolutely right. I see why you're bringing yourself to the front of the congregation and just, you know, striking all of that from the record.
Yeah, he's real, bro. He's real, you know. And I'm gonna present something to you later because there's something I still think that we gotta have offensively that I want to get your take on. But I only bring that Josh Jacobs story up to say, you know, we're never going to fully know what a player is going through. You know, never. I don't think in this NFL, you know, we're going to know a little bits and pieces, but we're never going to know the full extent of the injury. So with Max Crosby, we didn't know the full extent of that injury, and we saw how bad that was. And I still think it's even worse than it leads on.
Yeah, exactly.
I still think it's even worse than it is. And with
I agree.
Colt Miller, I think it's the same thing, bro. Like I think the shoulder is going to require surgery.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's going to require surgery.
No, I agree. I agree 100%.
So I mean, because I just, you know, because I be listening to the insiders and shit, but I listen to the wording. You know what I mean? That's what I really listen to because you know they can't say certain things and they try to keep it in house, but the wording is going to tell it all you need to know. You know what I mean? So when I hear certain people are like, "Oh, Miller really toughing it out. He shouldn't be playing like that." But you know, he doing what he got to do. That leads me to believe this is the shit that he's like. If it wasn't dire circumstances or they didn't think they had a chance to win, he should have asked that. You know what I mean? Like that. That's what I think it is. Daniel Carlson, when the illness did not part. Correct me if I'm wrong, man, but he been kind of like he ain't been the healthiest this year. And I'm talking about Daniel Carlson. Like Daniel Carlson. He been having like little knick-knack shit bother him for this season, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I agree with you. And you know what? Let me see.
Hamstring, like not too long ago.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. This kid he's 28. He's 28 years old. He's 28. It's natural. It's natural. I literally, we were just having this conversation, right, about being in your prime. 26 to 28 is your prime. This is where I was trying to get y'all to understand. I'm not saying this when you performed your best. When you're in your prime. When you're in your prime doesn't mean you necessarily performed your best statistically. But it absolutely will mean you will perform your best in anything you'll ever do athletically. And that's my point when I bring to y'all when it comes to Michael Vick versus any other quarterback. Athletically, there was nobody touching Michael Vick when he was at his peak. Period. As a quarterback, period. So that's what I meant by that. And it's no different than what you're talking about right now in Carlson. And he's at the end of the rope. He's 28. He's now about to be that guy, like you just said, with injuries because he's past his prime. It's a wrap. I mean, I hate to say it, and I hate to have to look at it that way, but I can assure you the GMs are, he's going to get traded at a high point. And
because he just, I don't know. I think, I still think he's one of the best kickers in the league.
100%. Again, I didn't say he wasn't going to perform. Right? I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying you can't count on. We have been spoiled, bro. We've been spoiled, my dude. We've never heard of this man having injuries like this, and now all of a sudden, every other week, then he's been missing. We all like, what is going on? And I looked at his age, and now we know what's wrong with Carlson. I mean,
this is just Kansas City with some shit. I'm like, you don't do that. Like, I don't understand. He never does that.
Absolutely. So some people are gifted, bro. It's the easiest way you can think about this kind of stuff, man, is the people that are gifted genetically, right? Them dudes that you see eat McDonald's every day, all day, nothing but look like a freaking sculpture. Like, you know what I mean? It's just natural genetics. It's no different when it comes to injury. Some people are just injury prone, and they the nicest you've ever seen, but can't get it done because they can't stay healthy. And then there's some people that are actually ill because they never get hurt. And they're consistent. And you're going to be able to count on them for the next 20 years. But it's just, it's what it is, bro. I don't know.
That's crazy, man. But to round off the injury report, John Jenkins, Malcolm Kuntz did not part. Or Malcolm Kuntz was limited today, so that's good because we're going to need him if Max Crosby is not practicing, and we're going to talk about that just right after this. But John Jenkins on a rest day, but he's a veteran, so, it's kind of, you understand about that. He gets his little rest. He's a big dude, so we're going to need him to stop that run. But yeah, that rounds out the injury report. But leads me into my next topic that I want to talk about and discuss. And it's a crazy topic, but something we got to talk about, and this is for the future. And that is, should Max Crosby rest? Do we rest Max Crosby? That's the talk going around. Okay, now, obviously, it's going to be like, hell no. We all know how Max is. He's going to want to play. But if the knee is worse than being let on, is it worth this man playing these 5 games? That's the question mark that I have.
I say no. I say no, it's not worth it at all. Because even if you get there, you don't have a quarterback that can win it for you. And we already understand, right? That it's just what it is, man, and we just got to deal with it. Max Crosby is 26. He is at that prime. See, again, and I'm telling you, man, we're all going to learn together, if you will. But I'm telling you that 26 to 28 years old, that's the number, the magic number.
Right.
It's just what it is. And once you hit that 28-year-old mark, it's tough. So, and that's where he is. He's 26. The guy has never missed a game his entire season. Career. And now at the age of 26, got approval. Yeah. It's gonna be tough, man. I say rest him because why just take more years off of his career?
Shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out my man AR Apikasi. He said, shut him down. I'd rather not risk him for the long term, just for the short term. I don't want an RG3 situation.
Exactly. I 100% agree.
I fully agree. I'm on board with both of y'all. You know what I mean? It's like, not for the future, bro. Not for the future. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to need you for better shit, in the future.
100%.
Because this right here is not where our apex will be in a couple of years. You know what I mean? We're gonna be there. We're gonna be at the spot where it's bro. Like, when we get in the playoffs, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, we looking to win that motherfucker. That's the mentality. But as of right now, getting in there is the achievement.
Exactly. You don't waste a generational talent on that.
Nah.
You know what I mean? You just don't. You don't waste it leads me to to that whole point of, what I brought up. I don't know if we have it for a topic or we want to even discuss it, but hey, if you can get some goods for Devontae Adams, why not? I mean, we know we're not ready. We know we're not ready.
The only reason I always say, it's going to take some astronomical ass things to do that. With Devontae.
I agree. I don't want that to happen.
Just because I know like in these next coming years, bro, the quarterback room is going to get young. Real young. You know what I mean? It's going to be a rookie next year. It's going to be Aiden O'Connell again. So it's like, at that point, or if you're trading for one, it's still young because Justin Fields is 24. You know what I mean? So it's like young. And regardless, you're gonna need to pair the young dude with a guy. And like, if we get rid of Devontae, we're gonna be back to square goddamn one. So you're not having a number one receiver again. So like that's why I want to be in that cycle. But
I agree.
With Max, it's like, nah, bro. Like we gonna need you for some more better shit. And I'm not gonna lie to you. If Antonio Pierce made that decision, I damn near be ready to give him the head coaching job right now.
Just on that decision alone.
Just off that decision alone.
One of the smartest ones they've made.
That's the smartest move you could have motherfucking made. You want to know why I respect it? Because you don't have no assurances you will be here next year. So then, like, off of that, you looked out for as our man says, Chris, you protected the shield before you fucked around and thought about your own job. You know what I mean? Yeah. You thought about your own security. And that right there would gain you so much respect for me. I'd be like, all right, bro,
I agree. Yeah, that's protecting the shield for real. Like, that is what we need. That's what we need.
I mean, it's like, because if it gets to the point where you're like, all right, bro, we're in analysis mode now. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, cool. But it's like, we'll get into this game in a minute, but it's like these are certain games that would you expect us to win without Max Crosby?
Can't expect it.
So Minnesota, you would say that would be a loss without Max Crosby.
Only reason we got a shot is because other people might step up, knowing that it's their audition too, and if they want to be around, they better, shape up or ship out, if you will. The only person that has a pass, which again I'm just not happy with and don't agree with, is Tyree Wilson. He's got a pass because nobody expected him to be well this year. Yeah. And that's unfortunate, man, because that's showing a preference / it doesn't bring the next man up mentality. What it brings is, if you're a superstar, somebody that's supposed to be something, or that's supposed to turn out as something, we're going to give you more time, chances, development than anybody else that could be just as good.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with it. I mean, it was one of the dumbest decisions, and in fact, that itself was a decision worth them getting fired. Period.
Yeah, and
we should never got. I don't care about anything they want to say with who they had, who they thought, with Chandler Jones. I don't want to hear it. You should have never drafted. You don't with the first pick. The first pick should be an immediate impact, bro. There's no way you're going to get me to believe it.
If we talk about development, though, Perfect. Shit. Throw his ass out there. Let us go to the Sharks at that point. Because now we're too deep in the goddamn season. If the foot is hurting that bad still at this point in the season, that's a bad thing. But you know what I mean? I can see that. That's a bad thing. But if he's good to go and healthy, we should throw his ass out there. Let him learn on the fly, bro. Get embarrassed a little bit. I'm one for that. All right? I don't care.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I am a full believer in I will throw your ass to the sea, bro, and let you sink or swim. That's just what it is. Because in this game, it's just the only way you're going to know. It's the only way you're going to know if you got a date. You know what I mean? If you don't, well, that's fine. I've seen it. You know what I mean? From my own two eyes, I've seen you get. Because why? Especially that position. Why? That's pure strength and will. We talking about DN and going against a tackle. It's pure strength and will. And if a guy is consistently putting you on your ass, now you have to question, well, where your motherfucking heart at? He's whooping your ass out here, like physically whooping your ass, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. And you don't have no pushback. That would concern you. So that's where I'm like, bro, fuck the limited role shit now. It's over. That's over. It's five games. Let him go. That's where we at. You know what I mean? That's where I feel. But
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But that's the only reason I would say wrestling, man. It's like we're already so thin at the edge spot because of Chandler Jones. Because now Max Crosby is hurt. We're thin at our edge rusher. Very, very thin. So it now comes into play when we play certain quarterbacks like Justin Herbert, like where's the pressure gonna come from? Shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's all the things that we have to look for. But I'm with you guys, man. Resting them, I definitely think that's something that we should really entertain.
Yes, sir. 100%. Yes, I mean, I'm not saying give up on the season, but you gotta have a next man up. You have to,
correct.
And you can't put people out there that's gonna. At this point, Max is hurting the team more than helping the team being out there. He's not 100%. He can't be himself. He's not going to be productive like that. Take him out.
There you go. That's it. That's where we at. He's just not going to be as productive as we need to be. Now, coming in, we wrapping it down, man. We're coming into the final segments of the show. So make sure you guys tap it on the like, tap it on the subscribe button if you like what you hear. And, right, down below, link in below. I'm going to put it in the description of this video. We're going to have a link where you guys can tell us what we should be talking about, what you guys want to hear on the next show, man. We want to get your feedback. Everybody, we want to cater to the fans. We definitely want to cater to everybody that's watching the show and that's faithful to the show, man. So, right, I'm going to put the link down. Allow y'all to go ahead, tell us what y'all want us to talk about. What do we talk about too little? What do we talk about too much? You know what I mean? Or what would you guys like to see on the next Turf and Rundown show, man? Definitely get some feedback for everybody. But next segment that we have here, boom. Is this a must win for AP? Would you say this is, everybody in the chat, definitely a question for you guys too. Is this, peace, is this a must win for Antonio Pierce coming into this Sunday?
I don't think so. I think it's a must max effort.
There you go.
From his team. I think look, the bottom line is we don't have the talent. We don't have the team yet. And it takes more than just the head coach, right? Just the players, right? It takes a combination of a lot of things. So if the team continues to play hard and we lose a tough one, I don't think that should be against them. I don't think that should be a mark against them. He doesn't have the team that he needs yet. He doesn't have the team that he wants yet. So, I mean, how can you knock the man on something that he never created to begin with? He's just trying to keep the water out of the ship, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, I don't think this is a must win for him in order to keep this job, but it's definitely a must max effort from his team in order for them to be comfortable with yet another loss and knowing that we are absolutely not making the playoffs. And now you definitely better be playing for max effort and finding out who wants to be on the team for the next season. So
yeah, and I'll say something. We'll talk about the playoffs and all that just right after this. That'll be our last segment coming in here. But I agree. I don't. At first when I was making the segment, I'm like, yeah, it might be a must win for him to secure his job because I'm like, this is a team in Minnesota they're good, but it's a winnable game. You know what I mean? But
right.
like I think saying with you, just looking at all the injury and now us talking about shutting down Max Crosby. Colton Miller ain't playing at 100%. We know probably Devontae's shoulder is still a little banged up. Everybody's banged up right now. But not having all these guys and having all this is like we want to see the max effort. It's getting to that point in the season. So we need to see that the team is prepared. We need to see certain things from this team to make us feel like he has us going in that right direction. He has the team, improving in certain areas. That's what we want to see. But, I think it's going to be hard to say that it's not when we talk about, this is a results-based business. So we have to, the results is the proof of the pudding, bro. We have to see wins. So regardless of it, we can feel good about the effort, but are we going to feel good about not winning? And that's something that's going to be, that's the problem. That's the problem. So I think turn it around. I might have to say that this is a must win.
I see the logic there, and I get it. I get it. I mean, it's a good argument.
Right,
it's the easiest way to put it. It's a great argument. I think if you were to ask Antonio Pierce if he thinks it's a must-win, 100%. I believe he's absolutely treating every day as do or die, let alone every game. So,
yeah. Win the games that you can win, man. I think that's what we're
at. Opportunity, a tough position to be in. Because
really,
you're there for a reason, right? You became interim for a reason. And that's because the dude that put this shit together couldn't get it done. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Couldn't get it done. So I mean, this, let's see that this is a game that we both say that this is a game that the Raiders should win. So in that perspective, now we're looking at, all right, you have to come out here and show that. You have to come out here and beat the teams that you can beat and beat the teams that you can beat, and then against the Kansas Cities of the world, damn near against the Chargers in a little bit of a fashion. These are games that you're just going to have to play at your tip-top bench. That's just what it is to beat these teams.
Yep.
Well, so to playing off real quick, last segment we have here, playoff picture. And I bring this up because today, the Steelers just lost to the Patriots. All right, we beat the Patriots. Now the Steelers beat us, but it helps that they lost to the Patriots. You know what I mean? It helps. So when you look at the playoff picture in the AFC, it's not as strong as once was. Like as we all thought. I think right now the cream of the crop to me in the AFC is Baltimore. That's where I'm at. And I don't know the standings. You could probably pull that up, Turv. You got the AFC playoff standings or the playoff picture right now. Who's in first? But let me see.
Yep, I was gonna pull it up there.
No, I already know it.
Got it. Okay.
Got it. Whoever is in first. All right. Yeah, but looking at the playoff picture right now, it's bleak. You know what I mean? And then a number of teams are missing their quarterbacks. You know what I mean? A number of teams are missing their quarterbacks. So, Bengals, Joe Burrow's gone for the season. Trevor Lawrence, he looked like he was going to be gone, but he was hobbled. So, he's going to be all right. Like I said, I think Baltimore's cream of the crop right now for me. I think they're the best team in the AFC. Kansas City ain't as strong as they are, but we got to prove we can fucking beat Kansas City.
Yeah, we can beat Kansas City. We can beat Jacksonville. We can beat Cleveland.
Yeah.
We can beat the Colts.
We can beat
the Texans.
Texans, that's another team. Sneaky good. They are sneaky good. So that the playoff picture is looking bleak. Like realistically, if the Raiders win these last 5 games, man, I think there's a real possibility that they can sneak into the playoffs. I do. It's real. It's slick. But if they fuck around and do it, they'll sneak in there. Because the AFC is not strong. It's not as strong as
I understand. No, I agree.
So I mean, just looking at the outside factors, but the Raiders got to handle the business, regardless. For us to even have a talk about this, we got to handle our business and just win games. So that leads me to this. Final thoughts. Going into the Sunday game against Minnesota, before we get up out of here, make sure you guys are hitting the like and subscribe button. Remember, we'll have a link in the description so you guys can tell us what you like, what segments you like, what you didn't like, what should we talk about more, what should we talk about less. And don't even got to be football related, man. Any topics, right? We here to talk, man, but let us know down below. But final thoughts, sir, where we at on Sunday?
I think it'll be an entertaining game. I believe Jefferson is playing, right? Yeah, it'll be more points scored than everybody expected, I think. The defense will play well, but I just have a feeling that we'll see more points on both sides than we expect. But I do think we're going to win. I think we're going to win. I think JJ goes off. I think he might have a breakout game, meaning like something special. He's hitting on all cylinders. Excuse me. He's hitting on all cylinders. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts, man. I think we can get JJ going. The Vikings defense is more out, but at the end of the day, I saw the Bears be able to do certain things to them the last game that we definitely be able to take advantage of. Given the times right now, Danielle Hunter going against a hobbled Colton Miller is never good for me, but if Colton Miller can hold that down, we'll be all right. I think we'll win this game as well. I think we'll do just enough to put some heat on Josh Dobbs. It's just not let him sit back there. You know what I mean? Don't let him sit back there and find Justin Jefferson in the zone and all that. So I think this is a game that the Raiders can and should win. And then after that, we go to Thursday. Oh, real quick. We have a special guest in the building as we get ready to wind it down. What's the deal, man? Hey, what's up, AR? So look, we're going through our final thoughts, man, for Sunday's game. So what you thinking about Sunday's game as the Raiders play the Vikings?
You're on mute, boss.
Oh, yeah, you're on mute, boss.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
There you go. Yes, sir.
We all.
Okay. I guess the topic of interest in regards to the week that's coming up ahead, and even going further than that, is you guys were just touching up on it as I joined the chat feed, the Max Crosby situation. Should we keep playing him or should we shut him down? And to your point, like when he played last week against the Chiefs, he was still doing some things through sheer will. He's never going to lack that. But at the same time, you could see it was glaring obvious to me. And I was half asleep when I watched the game, being that it was early morning for me. I didn't get much rest that night. But it was glaring, obviously, that he wasn't where he's been at for the majority of his career. And, I highlighted before, like, my personal opinion is just shut him down. It's not worth, because he is one of the very few players who is a long-term investment for us and is already proven to be one of the great Raider players. So I for one, the short-term gain, it's not worth it. And I made the point of, like, I don't want another RG3 situation. You know what I mean? Like, I made the comment that, like, for me, that was at a time when I watched more football than just Raider football. I was delving out and watching a lot more. And one of the players I I came to watch and wowed me even back to his Baylor days was Robert Griffin III. And then when he suffered that injury because he decided not to make a business decision, decision he actually he came out and said that he wished he made the same decision that Lamar Jackson did years later that he didn't. That ended up ruining his career. Because for me, and maybe I'm, shooting too far, but I truly felt in my heart at the time he was destined to be the next great thing. Like the next Mike Vick, a guy I know is dear to your heart too. You know what I mean? He had all the tools, all the potential, and all it took was for one injury in that playoff game to change the whole trajectory of his career. Now, it's a different position. Yes, I understand that. But for me, the concept is still the same. I would rather not risk long-term, injury just for the short term, which is likely, if I'm going to be honest, like I want us to win out. Don't get me wrong, but it's likely futile at this point. You know what I mean? So it's not worth it for me. Just rest.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad to hear you say it, man. We all on agreement on that. So, I mean, final thoughts about Minnesota, man. You think the Raiders can win on Sunday? What do you
Sorry,
think
that's
about
what you originally asked me. My bad. Look, 1 week at a time. I mean, we're coming off 2 straight losses. One moment, man. Mic check. Look, we're coming off 2 straight losses. The season's not over yet. Hopefully, we can get our run game going. Hopefully, Aiden O'Connell can do enough to get the ball out to our weapons on the outside. Defensively, if Crosby is out, I'm going to be looking at Tyree. I get your point, but he's been thrust into a position where he's been forced to contribute more than what was likely ideal, and to a point, I'm going to give him concessions, but at the same time, I've said this before, and maybe I'm sounding like a hypocrite. To me, it's been very underwhelming, even with things considered, with the production we're getting in return, and I want a little bit more from Tyree. I want him to show more potential than what he has. He showed me less potential than the likes of Arden Key and Cleve Farrell, and that scares me. You know what I mean? Being that we know how those guys panned out, and I want to see more from Tyree, and hopefully either this week or the coming weeks, especially with Max Crosby out, I just want him to show more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's going to be my point of interest, as well as in the secondary, who's going to get the duties on Jefferson. Like Jack Jones, we signed him from where was he? Was he on the street or a practice squad?
Patriots.
Yep.
So he was still on the Patriots. Okay.
Yeah,
so I know, I saw that he got some game time last week, and I actually thought, with all things considered, he didn't do too bad. But who's going to be that outside guy who's going to get the duties? I mean, is it going to be Bennett, or are we going to take Nate Hobbs away and put him on the outside? I don't know. It's to be seen, but hopefully we can get the job done on him and the rest of their wide receiving crew, as well as my last take, Matt Mullins. Nick Mullins? Is it Nick Mullins?
Nick Mullins, yeah. But I think Josh Dobbs is starting.
Okay, if Josh Dobbs starts, whatever. But if it's Nick Mullins, I don't want another repeat of 2017 and 2018. And I brought that up, I think, the last time I shared the panel with you, Rundown. I don't want this nobody to be as somebody all of a sudden when we're playing against them. Kind of like what happened in 2018 and what happened with Badgers. So whoever it may be, put him in the dirt. The quarterback must go down and must go down hard, right?
Exactly. And that's a great final point. We about to end it off here, man. Like, pressure on the quarterback heals all. And if we can get some type of pressure on that quarterback, especially if Max Crosby is hobbled, then we did our goddamn job. You know what I mean? That's where I feel like we at. But AR, man, tell the people what you got going on, man. As we about to get up out of here, man, tell them what you got going on for your channel, what you got coming.
Look, I'm just another content creator in the game, but you know what? I didn't even want to waste the time and energy to do that. This is about you guys. So, guys in the chat, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to Rundown and the Ultimate Raider Fan 32. Was it 32?
Yes, sir.
32. That's it. So, if you haven't already, if you're on one of the guys' channels, go to the other side, Subscribe to both of them. Not about me. That's why I'm not going to plug my channel, because I see most of the names in the chat feed are already people that I know and I recognize. So appreciate you all, but make sure you subscribe to these two guys right here. We need to get their numbers up. So appreciate you all. Love you guys. And yeah. That's it for me.
Hey, much love, man. Much love, brother.
Absolutely.
Much love. So, Turf, it's another successful day, man. Another successful Thursday. We're here again, man. So, like we said, we're going to try to do something special for y'all next week. You know, Turf's going to be at the game on Thursday night. So, you know, we're going to see what we're going to do.
We'll do, boss.
Yeah. That's gonna be live, man. So we're going to see if we can do something special. But, like I said, man, we always going to come to you live on Thursdays, man. Any final thoughts you want to say to people, Turf?
Hey. It's TRS, boss. That's how we roll, man. It's what we do, man. This clique is real. It's a brotherhood, man, and we coming for all y'all next.
Yeah.
Yep, I said it.
Guaranteed. So make sure everybody tapping on the like, on the subscribe button. Follow me, follow Turf, follow AR, man. We'll be back to y'all on another Thursday, man. So once again, man, y'all have a good night. We're gonna see y'all next time.